Alrighty, Juanitosville, we are here live once again, and we have our brand new shoes on. We have our fast shoes on, and you know how it, remember when you were a kid and you had your new shoes and you thought they made you run faster? Oh, guys, we're running fast right here in this jewelry adventure that you guys are with me on, guys. Let me fill you guys in a little bit. I had a piece of ingot that I poured from some old silverware, and it was something like this. And I rolled it into long square wire with my Vevor rolling mill, very slowly with some good annealing in between. You can watch this video and it has me using my rolling mill, the inexpensive one, guys, because they say save as much money as you can until you can get the really good. But I got to make jewelry now. I can't wait months and months, and I will eventually get a Durston or one of the $4,000 ones. But for now, guys, this is where I'm at. So I have these two pieces. These are, I rolled them into square wire, and then I put them on the flat, and then just rolled them flat. They're pretty substantial, and they're very rustic looking on the edges, which I really like. Look at that right there. You can see the rusticness. I love the rusticness, guys. And we're gonna make like a rustic style of bracelet with these. And so I have this idea. I was laying in bed this morning and I was like, man, I think this would be a cool idea. I was thinking originally of having it flat across, but I think I'm gonna have a little bit of an arc to it just to give it a little bit of pizzazz, because style is everything, friends. So what I did was I annealed this. I marked 6 inches. These are 6 inches long, roughly. Pretty dang close, actually. And in the middle is 3. So what I'm doing right here, guys, is I'm just pushing, and I'm gonna a little something right on that line. Now you guys can probably see that. So we're gonna make a spectacular bracelet, guys, and I'm thinking about some kind of weave. I don't want it to be too big, but I want it not too like that. All right, guys, I'm just gonna keep kind of going like this a little bit and go a little bit to the left of it, a little bit to the right of that center point. So my goal, friends, is something like this. I want this to be, then I want to put a piece to right here, maybe a ball. And once I have it connected on the ends, then I'm going to start weaving these cool pieces across. And I have this that I also rolled in my Vevor rolling mill. This is half round. It has a half round setting on it. It's pretty thick. This is also probably about the same thickness as this. And I might roll it a little skinnier. But my goals, guys, are for it to go like this. Maybe some overlapping. I would ideally like it to kind of go over the edge, like to fit like this. So it kind of hugs it, not just sitting on top. That's too easy. A little bit of a fold over, I think, would look really cool. But this might be too thick to be able to achieve that. So I might roll this out a little thinner. But getting this to really bend at a cute angle could be a challenge. So I might make these just a little bit thinner. And plus, I'm going to need more than this. So now you guys know the vision, and you guys saw the thumbnail, so you know how this turns out. But how do we get there? How do we get there? That's what the Jewelry Adventures is all about, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Please hit like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy Jewelry Adventures. Without further ado, let's get going. All right, friends, I got these bent roughly the way that I like them. And I was thinking about, I made these little half spheres, little sphery looking balls, melting some silver. And I was planning on maybe thinking about doing this on the edges, you know. And I thought that might be kind of big for what I'm looking for. I'm looking for kind of low-key masculine. This is probably going to be more of a masculine style of bracelet. And because of the ruggedness and the idea that I have for it, not every guy out there wants to look like Liberace. So we're going to go ahead and go low-key masculine. And what I'm going to do is file these edges flat right here so they kind of butt up a little bit nicer together. Boom, boom. So I'm going to solder those together. And then that's going to be our canvas for our pattern, or lack of pattern, our random idea here. But I'm basically putting it on my file like this, and then I'm going to go like this. And the parts that are right here will be touching with each other. Not low-key masculine, but low-key slash masculine. So it's not like saucy masculine. And I have some other bracelets that are even saucier masculine than this, but this is kind of like a understated masculine. Let's call it understated masculine. All right, friends, I have this here. I did do the filing. I got it feeling pretty good, and they're buttered up pretty nicely. I'm going to solder these edges one at a time. This is kind of thick silver, so I'm going to have to go a little bit higher heat. Cook that flux off on both sides. I was originally going to do medium solder, but I think I'm going to go hard solder, guys. This is the first soldering joins of the piece. So typically it's a good idea to hard your first solder pieces. You want hard, because you're going to be adding and heating this up and adding some more stuff to it. And the last thing you want is for your solder to start, your pieces to start falling apart, because the melting temperature of the solder is less. I'm putting them right in that seam, kind of pressing, so it has good contact with the seam, and that's where I want it to go. So hopefully you guys are can see that. I'm gonna go a little higher heat. I'm gonna focus just on the edge here. I have my pinchers ready here to pinch if necessary. A little pinch. At this point, as per my instructor, when you do something like this and you're working on the top, it's not a bad idea to turn it around and heat it from the bottom and pull some of that solder through the seam if possible, guys, because the solder will follow the heat. So we're gonna go back to high heat. We're gonna see if we can see a little flashes of solder coming through that crease there. I didn't see it, but we'll let that cool and examine it. Okay, we got a seal right there. It's together. I'm gonna do another one on this side and just duplicate that process over here, and then I'll bring you guys right back. Okay, friends, we are looking masculine. We are looking rugged. Hard solder. Clean up these edges, make them look a little bit cooler. We'll probably do a boom stamp on it before we start kind of getting into the other part of it. That way we're working on a flat surface when we do our stamping. And I don't know if maybe I'll do some stamping on this, or if I'll just leave it like that. As an artist, you know, you're always visualizing like what would look cool. And very rarely, guys, whenever we're thinking artistically, does something not look cool. Eventually it does look cool. We might have to finagle a little bit to make it work, but all right, guys, now I'm just kind of gonna sure up these edges here. I just got my big file, and I'm just gonna just until I get nice and flat, something I can work with. All right, gangstar rap stars, we're going right here, friends. You know how I like to do it. We have this half round that I rolled flux, and we're gonna tin these. I have two of them. I cut them in half because they're really long. Half round wire is sometimes hard to tin the bottom because of the roundness. It makes it a little tricky. Cotton swab. And just rub the flux. So my goal is to tin the whole bottom of this. So let's fast forward. Instead of trying to balance it onto the half round, the big half round, I'm just gonna place it like a, just place it If I can get this solder to mount. Spread it like cake frosting. So I'm gonna do that all the way, the whole thing. It's pretty boring, but you guys see what I'm doing. Okay, Budwise guys, we're going right here. We have my dividers, and I'm thinking about it kind of going over like that. So I want for it to be, I want some pieces to be long enough so for these angles, so it might have to be a little bit, so these middle ones might be this long, and then over here I'll make them a little shorter. I put the boom on the outside of the cuff, and then on the inside of the cuff I have the boom on the inside. And I just tin these, both of these, and then I'm going to just go right here and I'm just going to cut little pieces and then place them strategically. And I'm not going to go too hardcore as I cut these. You know me, I like to almost burn myself every day. Ah, that's hot. Ah, hot. Ah, hot. Not hot. Okay, so the ruggedness. This. You guys might want to see the way I do this. I was thinking about using my dividers, but now as I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what? I can be nice about this. So let's go boom. And I'm just going to go one at a time because I have low self-esteem and I'm always afraid I'm going to make a mistake. And I don't want to make a bunch of mistakes all at once. So if I go there, yeah, I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to go nuts, guys. I might go something like that. How cool would that be? And then as it hammers to bend, it all gets like morphed in there and it looks just like, oh. So this is just art, friends. We're just going artiste. I am artiste. Let's do this first. Guys. Chad Parker. What's up, Chad? I hope you're watching this video. Man, Chad Parker is also from Colorado. I think he's in northern Colorado. I'm in western Colorado. Here in beautiful Montrose, Colorado. I am a student of Melanie Klein, founder of Uray Silversmiths in beautiful Uray, Colorado. She is a master silversmith and artist of all sorts. She's even a gardener, and gardening is an art, guys. Okay, guys, let's just keep going. I'm gonna go hard heat here. We're just gonna kind of get everything toasty. Solder on the underside of these half round wires, medium solder, guys. Hard solder here on the edges, on the ends. Hard solder there, medium solder here. We'll probably finish this all out with medium solder. Now the smaller mass, which is the half round, is going to heat up really fast in comparison to the bottom end. So we're just going to kind of focus our heat on the mass, which is what you want to do. Focus on the mass, and then you can bring the heat to the lighter mass as the heavier mass starts to come to temperature. You want everything to come to temperature at the same time, guys, if possible. We are flying by the seat of our panties, friends. Okay, we got good heat. We got that. All right, amigos. This is where we're at. Everything is down. Boop, boop. Everything feels pretty solid to the initial touch. I just pull it out of the water, quenching. And so now I'm going to take it over to the pounding block. We're going to start to curl these over. And then that way they're out of the way when we put our next layer. So over on the pounding block. By the way, I got this little guy for $12.99 at Hobby Lobby. I use it because it's nice and clean on the bottom. Whenever I hit it, doesn't get a bunch of Mars like this sometimes does. And it's not a big deal, but you know, anytime you can save yourself a little extra work, you want to do that. But I don't know how to do this. Part of me says I want to score under there so that it bends over easier. But part of me says just to bend it over. Let's just try one. Let's try one. This is all experimental, guys. Smash it. Let's look at that. Okay. You see that, friends? Can you see that? We got a nice mash over. That's enough that I can cut that off and then file it down and then maybe put a little solder right there in the seam that it creates. This one didn't get all the way. Okay, so I got some, this didn't go all the way down, guys. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reheat this. I'm gonna put some solder under here and put some solder under here so it flows under there. And just to improve my chances of success. All right, friends, so I did dip it in boric acid and denatured alcohol to minimize chances for fire scale. And then I quenched it, and that's why it kind of looks like that. So right now, and I got everything down. So here I'm just going to spend some time just to bend these over so that we can go ahead and start. And I did put solder on the insides of these, on all of these, so that when I bent it over and smash it down and I heat it again, that solder will adhere to the sides right here as well. So trying to think ahead, I'm going to just trim these edges. Let's start adding some more. All right, quick tip, friends. I did that and then I bent them over and then they kind of protruded, and then I put the top ones on, and then when I heated it up, the ones that were protruded, it was suspended, and then the bracelet came down and these popped off because of the weight of the bracelet was on these little protrudements. So don't do that until the end, guys. Put all your pieces, get them all right where you want it, and then heat it one time. Make sure everything's nice and flat and press down to it. You can get your, see, if I try to press this down, this is going to pop up when the heat is going to unsolder that solder joint. So do everything flat and then bend it all at one time. That's what I just learned. These two came off. I'm going to put them on here in a little bit, but I'm going to spend a little bit of time right now just filing these flat so that next time I put it down, I can press and they're all going to go down instead of having this rocking and stuff popping up. So I'm glad that I figured that out for you guys. All right, friends, this is pretty much where we are at this point. This one fell off, and so I cleaned the surface to really expose the silver, and I'm going to put this back on there and get it heated again and get that solder to run and probably clean. And I added some more solder, and I'll probably clean the surface so that I can really expose the solder. Solder on silver is what we're looking for right here, guys. All right, guys, I think I feel pretty good about that. I worked at an angle on my rubber block. Guys, these rubber blocks are so helpful. You can sand on them. They grip your silver. They don't mar the silver from the underside. And I worked at an angle like this, and as soon as I saw silver on the back plate, a little shine of silver like this, I knew that I had gone, that it's flush, that whenever I put it down, it's not gonna, anything's gonna pop up. I'm going to put this piece on, The next thing is I'm going to flip it upside down so it all fits flat, and I'm going to feed solder into all of those. And then I'm going to clean the bottom, and then by then I think we'll be ready to bend. All right, zipper zappers, we are right here. We have, now I did 320 grit. This back was really beat up, and there's still some dings in there, but it is rugged masculine. But I got that pretty good. We got, I did 320 to 400 to 600. Blue radial disc wheel. I think I got these at Rio. Now, I'm at this point right here. It looks pretty close, guys. I'm going to bend this. Now, this is the part that I got to be honest with you. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little bit nervous about this because I tried my very best to make sure that we have it all going to be successful. But, man, you know how it is out here in these mean streets. You never know. Now, normally what I do, friends, when I bend these is I get my mallet and I start at the ends. On these little skinny ends right here. I'll do the ends first and then get those kind of curled in-ish, and then I'll start working it. And I really am going to hold it and hit it, and if anything pops off, I'll fix it, but man, I really hope it does not. Moment of truth, friends. Just pushing it forward and just going forward. Got that. Looking good so far. Oh, I felt the crack. Something popped. This guy right here. Okay, all right. Well, sometimes that happens, friends, and I think it's important that we kind of go there. I had a feeling that this guy was going to be a little goofy on me. So I'm going to put some solder right in there, get my tweezers, and then right at the opportune moment, give it a little twist or a little pinch, and then get that sealed again. But before I do that, I'm going to observe these other ones and see if there's any ones I might need to reinforce. But I think we have all these are looking pretty good except that one. That was the questionable one. But dudes, tell me this is not going to be the coolest, one of the coolest bracelets ever. All right, let's go. All right, guys, I can't let you guys out of the adventure, friends. This last piece. So we're just going to go for it. Be in the family, be in the family. Okay, got it liquid, and then we're gonna squeeze. Oh shit. Come on. Started getting pretty red there. Over on this end right here, but I want to just make sure we got what I want over here. Okay, let's see how that works. Okay, you party animals, we are at this place right here, guys. I had to add this piece kind of popped off at the last second. Put that back on, and let's take a quick gander. This is what we're looking at, friends. Now, it's not perfect. I learned a lot through this process. I would love to make another one of these. If I did it again, I think as I explained earlier, I would, when it's flat, I'd put all the wires first, tin the undersides of the half round, and place everything at once. Heat the whole thing, get everything stuck down, flip it over, and then trim or bend up so it hugs like this, and then trim it and file it, and then add solder. And I might go easy solder right here, guys, just on the edges, just so that it's a nice seal and there's not any gaps in there. That's probably how I would do it next time, and I think it would be a lot more effective, just easier. The process would be easier. It took a little longer than I wished, and but I really like this, guys, and this may be my new on my left wrist. This may be my new thing, guys, because it really fits me perfectly. Look at that. So you guys might see this in my videos. This might be my reward to myself for 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, which I'm feeling really good about. I feel like I'm helping a lot of people out there. I get a lot of positive feedback, guys. Thank you so much for all your support on my YouTube channel. I never thought I'd be a YouTuber. That was, I thought, something that was just for kids playing video games, but I'm actually helping people out here in this world, and it really feels good, guys. My merch on my in my description, you can get these Juanitosville coffee mugs, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but your jewelry comes out even saucier when you sip out of one of these mugs. Kid tested, mother approved. So thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Please hit like on the way out. Subscribe if you'd like to come back for more jewelry adventures. I'm going to do some other stuff. I got a lot of really cool ideas, and I have a big, epic bracelet with multiple stones coming up. I'm working in collaboration with my buddy Dennis Barker. We're going to do some lapidary. I'm going to show some lapidary stuff. I don't know how to lapidary very well, but we're going to get some cabs, turquoise cabs that is sent to me from my one of my buddies in Florida. Some turquoise and raw turquoise. We're gonna cab it, and we're gonna put a bunch of, so yeah, and we're gonna work with old style coins, 90% silver coins from the 1800s. We're gonna do the whole cut. We're gonna do old style, guys. We're gonna do like the old natives did back in the olden days, and as much as we can, we're gonna use acetylene, 90%. And we're gonna make our own bezel wire. We're gonna make our own solder. Oh, guys, we have some epic adventures coming up. And like I said, I've never made my own solder. I've never melted 0.90 into to make a cuff. I've never done multiple stones. I've never done multiple bezels on one cuff. There's a lot of things that I've never done that I'm going to do. And if you guys want to subscribe and join me on that adventure, it may be a little bit long. I might break it up into 2 parts. You guys tell me what you guys think in the comments. If you think a long video or 2 parts. Do you guys like the chapters? Sometimes I do the chapters. It's a little extra work, but on the long videos, sometimes you want to jump right to multiple bezels. You want to jump right to melting down the silver. You want to jump right to the lapidary stuff. You want to jump right to the bending, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Let me know in the comments what you guys like, and I'll do my best to oblige. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a really awesome bracelet. Tell me if you guys like this, and if you guys have any feedback or ideas to make ones in the future greater. I'm always open ears, friends. You know how it is out here in these mean streets. Oh man, I hope you guys are keeping it groovy like a drive-in movie, always leaning toward moving forward, not just hanging on like a hubcap in the fast lane, but staying loyal to the soil. I'm Benny. I'm out. Peace.